Hey, hello audience. Welcome for the Leap Academy webinar. Again, it's fourth one, I think. You can see me for the third time, probably the last time, I'm not sure. And the topic of today's webinar is like university counseling. What is the life after Leap Academy, and how we can build our careers after Leap Academy. I think it's quite an amazing topic because when I was a teenager, I was quite lost. You know, when I was 18, I think I was very lost in what I would like to do in my life and so on. And I ended up like this, you know. And
Not too bad.
yeah, no, it's not too bad. Okay, thank you very much.
Some
That's
people are
nice.
still trying to figure out what they would like to do, and
Maybe it's our lifetime, you know, to find it out.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we can discuss it today. Very nice. And please feel free to ask questions during the whole time of our webinar. We'll love to answer your questions. Yes? Okay. Then let me introduce you to Dominika,
Hi.
our year 4 student, and Michael, our amazing university counselor. And maybe it's first question for you, like, what is university counseling? Why is it so unique, or why do you think it's so unique? And how do you feel about your job?
well. University counseling is a new term, probably for people who are living here in Slovakia or in Central Europe in general. And basically, what I do here at Leap Academy is working with all these young people, fantastic young students that we get here, and I try to help them out, figure out what they would like to do once they leave Leap Academy.
Oh, that's amazing. And how do you do it? You just come and ask him, hey, what do you want to do? Do you want to go for the university? It doesn't have like that?
Not really, no. So we first meet on one-on-one basis, and then we start talking what they're interested in, what they're passionate about, what sort of skills they think they have, what skills they would like to develop. And then we kind of get an understanding of where they are at the moment and then where they would like to get to eventually.
Wow.
So each student is different, and we are just trying to work with each of the students and then trying to help them in a way that's going to work for them.
Okay, that's nice. Can you approve? What is the process for you, Dominika? You know, you're the one sitting next to Michael, in front of Michael.
I have experienced something already. Well, it's a great advantage to have a person such as Michael, a university counselor, so close, spending so much time with us, because I can approach him anytime. I will just schedule a meeting and we can meet one day after, or, you know, it's really free. And also he keeps us really organized and scheduled, which is important, especially when it comes to deadlines. So, you know, it's always good to have somebody like above you, just to keeping an eye on you, like, are you fulfilling all the deadlines and everything. And yeah, so I think compared to, maybe I can compare it to my Slovak high school, where there is no such possibility, it's great. And I mean, definitely my process was faster and more efficient because of this.
And how many times you to meet, like on what basis?
Well, it really depends, because some people, they like, for example, for me personally, I feel like we met more often because I was kind of going through phase, like, I don't know where I want to apply to. I want to take a gap year to, I'm actually applying to university in the end. So we actually went through everything together. So it really depends, but you know, like, I can say that we see each other for a longer talk at least once a month.
Oh, that's nice.
Definitely.
I'll maybe just add, so basically university counseling, we would normally start talking more generally about what students are interested in, what they would like to do. And then if university is something they would like to do, we start talking about different options that they have, and then obviously what they should be doing so they are well prepared. And then we go through the entire process of applying to.
And when you mentioned the gap year, like, for me, it was very unusual concept. I didn't understand it. What are the options? And maybe if you can explain also the gap year and other things that you advise our students to do after the academy.
Right, so we understand that not everyone is the same. And basically some of the students, vast majority of students would go to universities, but we have students who just want to take a year off to think about their options. So there will be a gap year when they can either work, they can travel, maybe they can work at the different schools and do whatever they really want to do over that 1 year normally. And then some of the students just want to really work straight away. They set up their own businesses, they have their own projects. Well, many of our students have their own businesses already. And so, yeah, depending on each student's needs, what they're interested in, we try to help them out.
Okay, can you give one example of someone that is not taking university, but maybe is planning to do something else?
Okay, so for example, we have one of our former students currently working with us. So he decided to stay with us because he was just so excited about working and just being a student, and then now working with us. And yeah, he seems to be having a great time being here at Live Academy, and let's see what happens after this year. He might be staying on for another year, or maybe he might eventually go to university.
Okay, and then you decided to go for the university.
Yes.
Okay, what was the process? Why you decided to go after all?
Well, for me, it took really long time to finalize like what I actually want to do. I mean, it's a huge step for the future and for planning at least next 3 years. And I was considering the place where I want to be. So I decided to stay in Europe, and I'm applying for universities mostly in Italy, in Milan. Yeah, and right now I'm kind of in the middle. I already sent few applications. Some of them are due next week, you know, and I'm also about to travel to Milan to take the admission test. So basically for me now is like everything is happening.
But you still had time to decide, yes?
But not really, like this is kind of the final, like I would say by the December, I finalized all the decisions. And now if I would like to change my mind, it will be a bit complicated.
And what are the requirements, you know, that students have to make if they decide to go to the university?
So basically it depends on each country. Even different universities in the same country tend to have a different entry requirements. But generally, our students would be applying with their Live Academy high school diploma that they get when they graduate, in combination with different AP courses that they decide to take over the 2 years' time that they're with us.
Maybe we should remind our listeners, viewers, like what is the AP? Because I think it's not a very common concept. So then if you can very quickly say what are the APs and how it differs from normal school academy.
Basically, APs, also known as advanced placement courses, are very popular courses at the high school level, especially in the US, but also all around the world. And those courses are recognized by universities as having a university level. So if you're taking, let's say, AP Calculus, which is one of the decent mathematics courses, and when you're applying to university, let's say to a course that requires maths, some of the universities will even give you a credit, meaning you don't have to take certain courses at the university. So it saves you time, it impresses universities because you're already managing the university level studies, and they look good, especially when you're transferring.
Okay, now let's double check. What about the requirements on your university that you're applying for? Well, it's in Milan, but we haven't said what is the university?
So, I mean, the one I already sent the application is Bocconi specifically. Some of you can know it. And
what is the subject? Or
well, the subject I'm applying for is Bachelor in Economics and Management of Art, Culture, and Communication. So it's like businessy, but also humanities related. Yes, so of course they're looking for the grades, and in this case APs were really helpful. Just like Michael said, it's completely different level, and they will see that I took the courses that I was finishing 2 exams last year, and 3 more are waiting for me this year. Hopefully I'm gonna manage, but I see. And then of course the other requirements are the diploma, which we will receive, and some personal statement, CV, and you know, all these writings that are gonna give the admission people a better picture about you and what kind of person you are, what are your hobbies. Yeah, that is the easy part.
what is the hard part?
The grades.
To get it.
Yeah.
But I believe you have a support system for that as well, but let's talk about it later. But maybe the question will be also about like how you're structuring your personal statement, for example, you know, because I think that when I talk to my friends that were applying for the UK universities, like personal statements is quite a, you know, like it's very specific process with specific information I have to put in. Like, what is the support that we are giving to students through the personal statements?
Okay, so basically we will be having our own group sessions where we will be talking about what is the purpose of a personal statement, what are the differences, let's say, when you compare personal statement and a college essay, if you're applying to US schools, there are differences. So we would normally have those group sessions, then one-on-one sessions where we will be going through different drafts, making sure that we are really putting in what we are supposed to be putting in. And yeah. So I think the advantage of these guys have is they always have someone they can talk to. So specifically looking at it from a university point of view. And then obviously they have their teachers who are always happy. To them.
And when you ask.
And if you ask them nicely.
Maybe not before the Christmas, you know.
Maybe not, yeah.
Not really. And they're always happy to give their feedback on whatever you're writing.
Oh, okay, good. So again, I'm very jealous. I'm jealous of your school. I'm jealous of Michael's work. Okay, but do we have any question? Not yet, but please be like very open. Ask anything you want. They're amazing people. I think that are all of us, not only them, amazing people that feel free to ask questions. Okay, good. Maybe I think let's go in more detail. Like we have this year, like new batch of students applying for the universities. How is it going? Are they getting some offers already? And what kind of universities they are selecting?
Okay, so far so good. We have 23 seniors or final year students. And out of those 23 brave ones, we had 14 students applying to the UK.
Okay.
The application deadline just closed mid-January, so we are still waiting for the offers. But we had 2 students applying earlier, mid-October. And we have some offers already. So that's just for the UK. I'll tell you who those students are, what offers they have. But then for US, for example, we have 5 students applying this year. Netherlands, we're going to see how many students are brave enough or they feel brave enough to apply. The application deadlines are a little bit later. And so far, we have offers from big universities, let's say Oxford University, Harvard University, and even UCL. So big names, and there's more to come.
Wow. And maybe like, you said that they're applying for UK, they're applying for US and Netherlands. Why they're applying for these kind of universities, or are there any other universities? Because what I know is that we're trying to look also for more unusual, universities for the students that are not so academically, or they don't want to be academics. Then if you can just maybe say a little more about the selection itself.
Okay, so I like to call it as a process because it is a process. So it's not like I have a student who comes to me and just fill out the application, that's it. First thing that we try to determine is if a student wants to study and go into a traditional academic university, so research-based, research-focused university. And if that's the case, then obviously we start the research process and try to determine what will be a good fit university for the student. And if it's not something what they are passionate about, then we try and find different options. So we have, for example, in Netherlands, we have a famous universities of applied sciences where the focus on academics would be a little bit less as opposed to having a practical use of what they're learning in a classroom. Then we have, for example, Denmark, we have Austrian universities of applied sciences, in Germany. So there are different options, and essentially it depends on what the student wants.
I didn't know so much about it. You read, you scroll,
constantly learning, and I think one of the advantages of my job is I get to travel to all those different conferences where I get to talk to different university representatives, and I find out about so many opportunities that are still appearing out there, and this is when the networking happens. This is when I try to introduce the whole mission of our school, present us as a unique institution, what we are trying to do here with these guys. And this is when we sometimes are successful and we manage to place these guys and sometimes give them some interesting scholarship offers.
And we had some very interesting scholarship offers also last year. Maybe if they were your classmates, almost the classmates,
friends, and
my
mates and roommates. Yeah, my roommate just left. So.
Okay, where she is?
She's
What's she
in Poland.
doing?
She's in Poland. It's great because some people stayed close, not in UK and US, but also those ones that went more far away, they came back. So actually now during the December, beginning of the January, I was meeting so many of them, and they all flew back. We talked. We haven't seen each other for half a year. They're doing great. Of course, some of them are thinking about transfer for a different university, but that's how it works. Like, some of them realize maybe the major they picked is not the best and they want to change for something else. And then also we have two girls here in Bratislava, which I have the closest contact with because, I mean, I sometimes see them when they come back to school because they stayed here because they're currently doing their working experience gap here. So that's the case we talked about, yeah.
Oh, that's nice because like some of the students like took or chose universities like you are last year. That really it's my like dream university. It's New York University,
Yeah,
NYU,
Yeah.
and like I met him on the corridor. I was like, how is it going? You know, and so on. And he was so like excited about that. And also, I remember that there were different options also outside of the in Asia that they got offers also from like the other states, so on the other side of the planet and countries. I'm sorry, thank you. And can you give me more examples of our alumni and what they are doing in their life now?
Okay, so last year we had 21 students graduating with us. So it was the first cohort of graduates. And out of those 21, we have this year 4 of them taking a gap year. So those 3 or 4 students decided to, no, I don't want university. I'm going to be different. So those guys are taking their gap year. And then the rest of the students, we had 7 students going to Netherlands. And another 6 ended up in the US. And we had 3 students heading to the UK.
Oh, okay.
So
And
nice.
do we have any question? We have Sylvia Filova,
hello,
sending us
Sylvia.
hearts. She's our alumni. Yeah. Okay, we have the last 5 minutes. Therefore, if you have any questions, just throw it to us. But maybe like the question can be, and it's very tricky, and I know that it was tricky last year as well, is that how like students fund their universities, especially when they go abroad, they're not staying in Slovakia in their country, they don't have mom or dad around. Then how do they fund their scholarships? The scholarships.
Those studies.
Yes.
Okay. Well, so far, what I've heard from our last year students or our alumni is that academically they felt the AP program in general prepared them very well and served them. And socially, I think the whole idea of living, being part of international boarding school prepares them really well, and then just joining the boarding or residential community of a US school system, for example, in this case, or just in general, living on their own, is something that is a big job, and it helps them a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So far, I heard only good things. They seem to be enjoying their life outside of Slovakia, outside of Berlin, and whatever. So,
yeah.
Okay,
So
good.
What about money then?
Well, money is a different topic. If we are talking about the US, let's say, those students were basically all of our students received some sort of funding for scholarships, mainly thanks to their performance whilst here at the academy, or also depending on what they were doing outside of school. In a vast majority of cases for our US or studying students, they are able to cover those expenses through the scholarships. And then for other countries, obviously, that's a combination. Sometimes they have to work part-time, and sometimes it's a question of savings. And for example, for countries like England or UK in general, in the Netherlands, they are lucky because they can actually apply for a tuition fee loan from the individual government, so they do not really need to pay for tuition at those universities.
Okay, that's nice. Dominika, I have maybe one last question on you. Is that, and it's not a complicated question. It's like more like what are all those things that you have to do? How you have to prepare yourself, for the selection of your final selection of the universities. Like imagine you're getting offer from everyone. Imagine this dream world.
Okay, but you're.
And now, how would you do this decision?
Well, just like you said it, like usually there is only 1 or 2 dream ones. So, you know, like if you're being accepted to all of them, it's pretty straightforward that you're gonna pick the number one. And if all of them have like the same value for you, I don't know. Me personally, I would look on the tuition, on the possibility of the scholarship, definitely, because you know that can be some factor for your decision. And then maybe the country. So, like if you feel more attracted to some country than another, then I would also consider that. And otherwise, I don't know. You can flip a coin always, or
Yes.
yeah.
Or you can ask your parents, no? What about your parents? How do you feel parents in the conversation, you know? Like, because, like, I don't know, how is it? Because I can imagine that there are some parents that have very, if some parents are vocal, you know, strong opinions, then how do you cooperate with parents on this one?
That's a really good question because, you know, on one hand, your parents are always going to be the closest people in your life and they want nothing else but the best for you. But at the same time, like, it's hard to put the energy into explaining how it works. And sometimes you explain for 100 times and they still don't really get it. So, you know, you definitely need to, like, make things more easy sounding. But I personally take a lot of advices from them because they know me and they know what's good for me. So sometimes I'm confused because there is like a lot of factors that influence me, my classmates, I don't know, something that I just saw on the internet. But in the end of the day, I asked my mom and she said like, well, there, because you will like it. I know you.
Okay.
So
it's always like that. They're generally supportive, but you know, I always keep giving these guys one piece of advice. It's like, if you're struggling convincing your parents about what you really want to do and where you would like to do, where you would like to go, do your research, get the details, get the data, and then have the facts and convince them. It's going to be much easier to convince them.
That's, I think, either or not, you're applying for Leap Academy, but in the future, when you will try to pursue your parents and they would like to have a gap year, for example, then please use these wise words of Michael to cooperate with your parents and so on. And okay, I think that time's up. I would like to thank you very much. That was quick, you know?
That was really quick.
Yeah, we should do it more often. It was a nice chat. And I would like to remind all of you that we are having Open Day. And Open Day is a great opportunity for you to come and to meet these two amazing people live, not only through your screens, but real life. And you can learn more about Leap Academy. You can meet our colleagues, teachers, students, and talk to them directly. Also, and I think it's on February 9th. On February 9th, and you can find the registration online, as well as please do not forget, there is also application deadline, and it's coming very, very quickly. And from my experience with working with students, they always put it on the last 2 hours. It's totally fine, it will happen. But please think about it.
are made under the pressure.
Yes,
Don't leave it to the last minute. Ask Tommy.
Okay, and then do not leave it for the last moment, but don't forget that there is also always something nice at the end. But just send it out. That's the most important part. Don't be afraid. We will read it and you will see you cannot lose anything by sending out an application. And maybe 1 year from now, we will be sitting here and talking together. Therefore, do not forget, there is an application deadline on February 28th. And I think that's it from today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's wait for
Good night.
Have a night.